All right, well, the Sixers are on the clock right now. We're waiting to see if the pick is in. Some of you know. I do not know. I am not on Twitter, so we're reacting to this as raw as possible. At least some of us.
Dibs, I want to know we know who you want at this point, right? I mean, it's still the same guy for you.
Yep.
Tiago, where's your head at this point?
I want Tyrese Maxey. I think he's the best value at that spot right now. He's got tremendous potential.
I'm not going to ask Austin because his ass knows, but Jason, where would you go if you were the Sixers right now?
Well, I already know too. So I like the pick, and we'll talk about it as soon as it's.
Oh, you know as well. Okay.
I just can't believe that they took RJ Hampton.
don't go there, man. Not right now.
This is not funny now.
Not right
now.
now.
None of this is funny at all.
I just can't believe they took him. It's weird to me.
RJ Hampton's falling a little bit. I forgot about him.
They wanted Dante Exum Jr. They got him.
God, I hate you so much, Austin. I hate you. All right, Sixers are still on the clock here. Still waiting for the pick to be announced. Oh my gosh, Woj is on the screen here.
No, don't worry.
You know this one already.
We know that a pick has been made.
All right, we already know.
I'm so sorry they messed you up. They had a chance to get Tyrese Maxey and they went with RJ Hampton.
I hate you so much right now. I want to punch you in your perfect teeth.
Chris,
my teeth are not perfect.
Chris, at this rate, we'll get Terry in the second round, man. Don't worry about it.
Oh my God, I'm gonna kill all you motherfuckers. You're dead. Wait,
we thought you were gonna be dead.
I will find you.
Now we're dead.
I will kill you all. I hate you. Oh, pick is in. Pick is in.
Come on.
Here we go.
Once again, the pick has been in on most television sets for 65 to 70 seconds. But in Lancaster, it takes a little bit longer.
By the way, Dylan's just chilling back and drinking.
Dylan!
I'm just there for a good time.
Oh my God, I can figure it out, man.
I can't believe they're going to trade RJ Hampton now.
I hate you so
Untouchable.
Let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on, Woj. Don't screw us over here.
You guys still don't have the pick?
I do.
No, I don't.
Here we go. Adam Silver's.
Dimes is like, oh my God, they took Matisse Thybulle.
Tyrese Maxey. Yeah.
All right.
Let's go. Let's go,
so
man.
I need some. Give me your wonderful. You guys do an unbelievable job breaking all these guys down. Let me know about Tyrese Maxey right now.
All right, go ahead, Tiago.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Tiago. That's you. That's all you.
Rob, I want to talk about just the defense right now. You're talking about a guy with all NBA defense potential. One-on-one defender, absolutely elite. Ranked, I think, in the 97th percentile in one-on-one defensive possessions. So from a defense standpoint, you can plug him right away. He's going to help. He's not going to be a detriment. So right off the bat, to me, that's a home run pick. If you get an all-NBA defender at pick 21, that is a big-time steal, in my opinion. Austin,
oh, no.
I'll pass it over to you.
Vin got it wrong. He said it was Terry.
Vin got it wrong.
Vin said Terry.
He's the worst insider ever.
Oh, man.
He's going to lose about
He chose
1,000
the wrong
followers.
source tonight.
This night gets better and better.
No, Tyrese Maxey is one of those guys where when I was watching tape on Emmanuel Quickley, my first thought was, who the hell is this Tyrese Maxey kid? He was by far better in terms of a prospect. Tiago, you named it. Like, in terms of flashes, he needs to work on his shooting. But in terms of flashes, like, this guy is terrific. I was surprised he even fell. We said it during this lottery that I can't believe Maxey's falling, because I had this guy pegged as like a mid-late lottery pick.
Yeah.
What about you, Austin?
So just to touch on that point, like, Rob, go watch his tape and go watch him play defense. Like, he gets glued to guys on the perimeter. Like, he does not leave their hip pocket. knows how to defend without fouling. Like that's big. That's big.
That's
At the end of the day, it's shooting, though. We're talking about shooting.
Right, but
Well, hold on. No, he shot.
Yeah.
I just looked at this. You know, free throw percentage projects better than 3-point percentage from college, and he shot 83% from the line. So, I mean, that means he's got good form. He's got repeatable form. Now it's just a matter of stretching that out to knock down threes.
Yeah.
But that doesn't tell me that he's got broken mechanics.
Tiago, did you do a writing breakdown of him?
I did not do one on him. Did you?
No.
I did a video breakdown.
You did a video.
You know,
breakdown on him.
Where is
I
it?
have
Where is
been,
it? Where is it?
It's on YouTube.
Where is YouTube?
So where
It's in
does
the box.
but let's go back to it. Where does he get minutes? Right? Because
Yeah, I mean, I don't see this as a pick that's
They're going to create.
good.
They're going to create a sixth position.
the Kings play 4-on-5.
Tiago gave
They're going
his
to play
time.
6-on-5. It's changing the game. Warriors changed the game again.
Tiago gave his time to Austin, thinking something meaningful was coming.
And this guy didn't watch him.
You thought wrong, kid. You thought wrong.
Listen, I think he has high potential operating on the pick and roll. Like if you watch him, his vision is not good. So he plays with his head down. He misses guys passing lanes. So
Yep.
I think there's work to be done from a ball handling standpoint. The shot, I think, is better than numbers indicate. And if you watch him the pre-draft workout,
He's
like
streaky, man.
he's streaky, but he was working on his mechanics. So on the pre-draft TV show that they did for ESPN, like he had a high release point, and it was knocking him down pretty well. So that's an indication he's aware of the things that he needs to work on at the next level. And then the shot may come around over time. Like if you ask me, he's going to make an immediate offensive impact this year? Probably not. What's
the difference between him and Zaire?
He's a much more refined ball handler, shot creator than Zaire. Zaire was just a guy who would just run up and down the court.
He is not allergic to poppy seeds.
Well, no, but what we're talking about is using this guy as a pick and roll defender. So
and a pick and roll ball handler. No, I'm not talking about pick and roll ball handler. Like he can operate your pick and roll. He just has to work coming off screens and passing. Like he's got to see the court better. If you watch him at Kentucky, like he was a straight line drive, put your head down and kind of attack a defender that way. But I think there's potential there. Obviously, he's got a great handle. He's shifty. He can get around defenders. So I think there's a high potential offensively. It may not be this year though.
I like Maxey, but in terms of off ball, creating offense, creating spacing for Ben and Joel, it should have been Ross Terry.
And you're going to get started pretty soon. We'll look forward to
someone's got shit happening.
Sorry.
Let's go to grades. Austin, how would you grade the Sixers pick?
They didn't fuck it up. So A, I mean, that's what it's come to with them. I mean, they got a ball handler, and they got a guy who can shoot it a little bit. Needs to work on that, but he can defend. He's a high energy defender in the wing. And I think if he can get that shot down, he has a chance to be a really high impact player.
What about you, Dylan? Any thoughts on grading this draft pick?
He fell, right? So they didn't mess it up in that term. So to me, it was between I liked Bain or Terry at this point. The fact that Maxey fell, I mean, yeah, I agree with Crow. They just made a smart pick.
Jason.
I think it's good value pick. I think that's going to, as an asset, be good. He's not somebody that loses 30% value off the lot. I just listened to Doc Rivers talk about him just now, called him tough, called him competitive, talked about defense, talked about Ben Simmons having the ball in his hands and just needing guards around him. And so they like him. I think everybody should like him. I'm surprised that he fell as far as he did. But, I think he's a guy that makes other players potentially available or would have value for other teams as well. So I'm not sure he's still on the team on opening night. But if he is, that means a couple of other guys like Zaire Smith, may not be on the team. So, he unlocks maybe slots to make other moves.
Rob, any thoughts on draft grade here?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you talk about the type of player you want on the 76ers right now, and you want these tough, dog-like mentality guys. And judging from what I've heard you guys say, just doing a quick reading, he is a dog in a sense. He's going to go out there and he's going to work his ass off on that defensive end. Obviously, the offensive game needs to develop a little bit, but it's not like he has no offensive game. So, you're going to have that. And on top of that, look, we're used to the Sixers, picking guys that we're like, wow, where the hell did that come from? This kid slid. For whatever reason, he slid, but he was a kid a lot of people expected to go earlier in this draft. So because of that, I think you're already seeing the Doc Rivers and Daryl Morey influence where they say, hey, we don't pass this up. This kid wasn't supposed to be here at 21. He's here. He's the best player available for us to go get. Let's make a move. So I'm excited because to me, it's showing you the growth and maturity of this front office. And anytime to me, look, I coach high school basketball. The kids I love to coach the most aren't necessarily always the most talented. They're the kids that are going to go out there and scratch and claw and fight for every ball. And it sounds like that's what this kid's like. So I'm giving it an A, man. I'm happy with it.
All right. What about you, Tiago? Grade.
Rob's like, I want you to punch him in the face and trip him when he comes up the court.
Yes, that's what I want. Always. That's what I want.
Tiago, grade.
I give it an A. I gave you the reasons why I would give it an A. I think from a value standpoint, that is the best pick they could have made at that spot. And even if it doesn't work out, I still think he has enough of upside that you can flip him for something else. So A across the board.
All right. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed right now. I'm not gonna lie. We're like I had Tyrese Maxey. I know, I agree. I had Tyrese Maxey as one of my favorite players in this draft, but I think in terms of stone cold shooting, I'm a little worried about Maxey's shooting. He's very streaky. The Sixers cannot afford to have another streaky shooter on this roster. It's been killing them for the last 2 years. But you talk about defense, that is the selling point for Tyrese Maxey. You talk about flashes. I'm surprised that they went this route, to be honest. Because this is a guy that's probably going to take at least a year or two to develop a little bit. I don't see this guy as an impact guy. Whereas I think even you say 170 pounds for Tyrell Terry, I think, and I didn't think he's going to finish games ever. But in terms of Tyrell Terry, I think he could throw him in for 15 to 20 minutes, and he could get you 20 points once every other week, and that's the difference. Is I don't see Maxey making an impact this year. I'm just gonna.
Sorry, I was gonna say that like Coach Cal, Coach Cal, right? He's a very hard on his players, and he said after the draft process that he compares Maxey to Jamal Murray, which is a big deal. Like Jamal Murray is a big time shot maker.
Right.
And he sees him in a similar mode as Jamal Murray or even like an SGA type. So that's high praise from Coach Cal.
And
he didn't know anything like Jamal Murray, though, in college.
No, I didn't see that either. But come from Coach Cal.
One thing, when he was in high school, and I'm getting texts from guys that have followed him. When he was in high school, he was labeled a shooter in high school. I mean, he shot 40% from three in high school. Now, I understand he didn't have he struggled with consistency at the freshman level. But this guy that I'm talking to says, yes, does it need to improve? Yeah, but he's 19. And he wouldn't call shooting an actual flaw in his game. It's just something he has to work on. So, if you think Tyrell Terry could go out and get you, I don't know why this kid wouldn't be able to as well. I mean, look, you're talking about a kid that if he was picked at 12, no one would have batted an eye at him getting picked at 12. You got him at 21. So, we'll have to see how everything plays out, how the roster's constructed and all that. But, I think the value is really good. And I'm not used to saying that about a Sixers pick. I'm not used to saying the value is good.
I think when you have a guy that shoots 83% at the line, and 29% from three. It's usually lower body stuff.
Yep.
And that's a lot easier to fix than, shoulders to fingertips stuff. So I don't think you should be too worried about the shooting. And look, if the guy can play defense, he can play in the NBA.
Yeah.
And then you figure the rest out from there.
That he will. He will play defense. I'll tell you that.
Now, to have a kid like this that's a good defender, does it make the Sixers a little bit more, willing to give up a Matisse Thybulle?
Well, I think that's the biggest take here. You're talking about Danny Green. You're talking about Terrence Ferguson, if they're on the roster whatsoever, moving forward. But that's clearly the focus, at least from paper-wise, that they're looking at increasing the Sixers' defense from the jump. That is their main focus. What do you think, Thiago?
No, I agree. I think you can feel that Thybulle defensive mode. I think he's actually a better on-ball defender than Thybulle is.
Right.
I think Tybulle's a better space defender.
That's right.
Comparing him to Zaire. Yeah.
Zaire is an on-ball defender. So
Maxey's a guy who's he's gonna glue to your hip. He's not gonna let you breathe. Thybulle can get a little bit out of position from that standpoint. So they're two different types of defenders. But I do think over time you could make a guy like Thybulle expendable. Yes,
that makes sense.
All right, the New York Knicks pick is in.
It's
tomorrow. One of your boys.
It's hard to see that where they keep all of these guys, right?
Yeah,
right.
I think Zaire is probably. If you had to ask me, he's probably a guy who's going to be out on his way out.
By the couple of moves that have taken place today, if they plan on keeping these guys on the roster, it kind of lends you to believe that they're going to be more willing to give up a Thybulle in a trade, or is it Terrence Ferguson? Is it going to stay? He's going to be part of a package of some sort. You don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't think Daryl Morey is done in any way. I think not even if it's not tonight. I think Daryl Morey is going to get this roster where Doc wants it. However that plays out.
Yeah, I think the Sixers clearly need to get that defensive identity back. That's something they clearly missed, especially on the road for whatever reason. Big Shane Gillis said, minus Horford plus Maxey, Green, and Ferguson, our team is significantly better in a matter of a couple of hours. And he says, Austin, mute yourself.
Yes, please, dude.
Austin, you better have some breaking news for us for having not muted yourself.
Dad, they heard you. They just heard They heard our conversation.
Well, no, we didn't. We want you to break the news of the conversation.
We didn't hear it.
So my dad came upstairs in some sort of fleece and sweatpants with a soda in hand. And yeah, I mean, he was asking me about the different trades.
Oh, okay.
You
should have watched the live stream.
So I told him.
Okay, all right.
And then he asked, how do I watch a live stream? So.
Okay, let's get back to it.
Also, the breaking news: the fear is that Klay Thompson has torn his Achilles.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's
terrible. All right. Well, anyway, the Milwaukee Bucks pick is in. Where are we at? I don't even know what pick we are at anymore.
I know. I'll be back.
My goodness. All right. I would grade it a solid A- for the Sixers. I'm not thinking. I'm too emotional right now.
I mean, he's a guy that most mocks had around the 15 range. So
Tyrese, yeah.
So it's for value. It's a good pick. You can't argue for the value. Because
at the end of the day, you need shooting, man. I'm just tired of guys coming in that just lose it or just are so streaky and it doesn't translate. So I hope you're right.